we would be referring those material. So you are supposed to open session 1 and I think session 3. See, jo bhi aapko mila hai. So session 1 there is a small pending part. You know?
But the question.
So we'll do something from session 1, finish it, a small part, and then we go to a new session. Okay. Technically speaking, this is second English class. Okay. Okay. So you'll have to keep your video on. You can keep yourself muted, and whenever you want to speak or respond, you can unmute and then talk. And if I do any board work, I'll switch the camera. So basically, you are not doing any switching. Don't worry, you will see everything on your screen. I'll manage all this. Okay. और कोई आया नहीं है, अगर कोई आएगा तो उसको पीडीएफ भेजना, मुझे देखेंगे। Do we start?
Yeah.
So we can wait for 2 minutes. 5 minutes.
So you can see the whiteboard, right, Sneha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So I think we should start because people who have come on time, let's respect that. Yes. So we are doing this today, digital SAT reading. This is digital SAT reading session number 2. And there's some agenda that is unfinished. Session number 1 say, I would start that. We will discuss among ourselves. Sneha can participate as and when she likes, and then we'll go on to a fresh session. So Sneha, quickly, just to tell you, and also to fill the time and buy some time so that other participants join in. There are 2 kinds of students. A couple of them sitting in front of me right now. एक तो आपको दिख रही है screen पे, and there's one more student, Anirudh Patil.
Yes, sir.
So which is good, you know, this is good. ये इतना serious नहीं है SAT, so बिल्कुल अच्छा किया आपने. So what we are doing in on Saturdays, we are doing English SAT reading sessions. Sunday we are doing SAT math sessions. 2 घंटा Saturday, 2 घंटा Sunday is how we are going about it. Since SAT has gone digital, or rather it will go digital come this March, and this is the first time people will write it digitally. You have joined a batch which is targeting May SAT, and there are students who are targeting March SAT, and Tithi Singh hai wo bhi May SAT. So we are doing the reading part of SAT. This is one of the sections. Rather section है ना, मुझे इसको अलग तरीके से लिखना चाहिए. The section is called reading writing. RW बोलते हैं इसको. But we are focusing on the reading of reading writing. And in first session we had a small introduction, and then we did some skills of reading. Rather, we did 1 skill of reading last time. वो जो skill था उसका नाम था good. But textual नहीं बोलेंगे. It was called command of evidence textual. The skill was called command of evidence textual, where some argument or claim was given inside the paragraph as a question format, and then there were choices in form of some evidences. You have to pick the right evidence, which is either supporting or weakening, as the question may be, to the claim given in the question. ये थोड़ा सा एलियन कॉन्सेप्ट लग सकता है अभी, since you were not there in the last class. So bear with us, थोड़ा सा है ना, पेशेंस रखना, bear करना. But once I start a new topic or a new skill, the best part is each class is largely independent of the previous class, especially reading में, जैसा मैथ्स में भी हो रहा है. So एक छोटा सा I'll say overflow है, carry forward है from last session जो भी हम कर लेंगे, and then there's a new skill. So for that, all of you, all three of you are on the same page. So can we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
So we are doing this sheet जिसका नाम है, स्नेहा ये आपको देखना पड़ेगा, नाम पढ़ो उस पे. It is called reading session 1, command of evidence. Are you there on that sheet?
Yes, sir. I have.
तो क्योंकि उसका फर्स्ट क्लास है, उसको कंफर्टेबल करने के लिए मैं कर रहा हूँ. आप लोगों के लिए तो मैं नॉन क्वांटिटी हूँ, उसके लिए अननोन है ना, तो उसको मैं थोड़ा सा कंफर्टेबल करने के लिए आई एम टॉकिंग टू हर. बट नाउ वी कैन गो. आई डोंट थिंक एनीबॉडी एल्स इज जॉइनिंग. सो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, मैंने आपको कुछ बताया था, इसमें कुछ होमवर्क दिया था.
Yes, sir.
कौन सा है वो? अच्छा, आज की शीट चलो बाद में देता हूँ. Okay, so you know we did 4 problems from this, and 5th to 12th was something that you were supposed to do on your own, and then we were supposed to discuss them, see why a particular option is right or why a particular option is wrong. पहले तो मुझे बताओ, 2 of you, Nidhini and Nidhini, of the 8 problems which were given as homework, how many did you do?
I did also.
9th and 11th, आपसे हुआ नहीं, you mean to say. You made an attempt.
Yeah.
हाँ, so I'm looking at attempt किया. Yeah, that's what I want. So all 8 were attempt.
I attempted all of them and I had a doubt in one of them.
That's okay. उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कितने में डाउट है, क्या गलत हुआ, क्या समझ में नहीं आ रहा. 8वां अटेम्प्ट किया आपने. That's more important for me. Nihit, please put on your video and kindly ensure that you join class जो भी टाइम है उसका उस समय 6:30 पे ज्वाइन किया करो दोस्त. चलो, there were some problems, so you are 9 minutes late. So there were some problems given to you, Nihit. Sheet 1 में last time PDF में हम लोग questions कर रहे थे 5 to 12. If you can please help me understand how many of them did you attempt? Forget right, समझ में नहीं आया. All?
No, I didn't attempt any.
So this is not preparation for SAT, because SAT is जितना time आप भी सुनना स्नेहा, जितना time class में दिया approximately उतना time self study. So 4 hours per week class में to 4 hours per week घर पे outside the class. This is more than enough. इतना किया, you are improving on SAT skill. So now the problem would be ये दोनों सब करके आए हैं और आप कुछ भी नहीं करके आए हो. They will ask their doubts and आपका मुझे पता नहीं चलेगा. तो निहित क्या कर सकते हैं? What we can do is we will go question by question. Of course they will go fast क्योंकि अगर उनका right है तो वो लोग discuss नहीं करेंगे. जो वो discuss कर रहे हैं आप पहले वो सुनो in round 1. In round 2, after the class, what I can do is I can make you wait, and if you want to discuss any particular problem, we will discuss that. Okay, but I will not kill class time for that. Chalo guys. So we will go question by question, and because you were supposed to do this on your own. Question number 5. Answer D. Any discussion required? No. So you know why not A, why not B, why not C, and why D. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So abhi we are not discussing D क्योंकि पूरी क्लास का वो करेक्ट है. निहित ने क्योंकि अभी पढ़ा नहीं है तो वो बता नहीं पाएगा कि उससे वो बनेगा कि नहीं. So let that be an assignment for him. Question number 6. A, B, and an opportunity for you, Nihit. So Nihit, what I'll do is I'll give you 30 seconds. Read it, see if you can make an attempt. Sneha, we are on question number 6. This is sheet 1, session 1. The passage reads like कौन सा कर रहे हैं? Hector Tobar वाला passage है. Hector Tobar. Are you there?
mentioned that like that girl.
So 30 seconds to you, Anirudh Patil, and 30 seconds to you, Nidini, to relook at your answers. And your working, of course, your reasoning. Pulitzer Prize winning writer Hector Tovar has built a multifaceted career, both as a journalist and an author.
Sorry, I discussed.
रुक जाओ, अब मत रोको मुझे, अब ये अभी डिस्कस करेंगे. मैं तो अभी डिस्कस करूंगा. As both journalist and an author of short stories and novels, in an essay about Tobar's work, a student claims. इससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं हो सकता कि यही पता चल जाए claim क्या है. Damn. तो claim क्या है भाई? The claim is Tobar blends his area of expertise or expertise by applying journalism techniques to his creation of works of fiction. So the first task is to identify the claim, and the second task is to paraphrase it, rephrase it in simple words. So if I put it in simple words, Tobar uses his journalism expertise and would use it, the same technique of journalism, in the novels of fiction that he writes. So he's using journalism expertise, वो journalist होगा, into his writing of fiction. है ना, ये claim है. Right, guys? Mr. Tobar uses journalism expertise into his writing. This is my claim. Okay, so I rephrased it. अब test करते हैं. With quotation from literary critic best supports these students' claim. So सबसे पहले, let me look at option A, and this is how I'll go. For one novel, an imagined account of real person's global travels, Tobar approached his subject like a reporter, comma, interviewing people the man had met along the way and researching the man's own writing. Looks very prominent candidate for a right answer. Because if you look at Tobar है, वो subject को कैसे approach कर रहा है, जैसे वो खुद के लिए करता है, as a reporter, journalist जैसा काम है, interviewing people, finding more. That's what one of the expertise of journalists is. The man had met along the way, so जिससे भी मिलता है, journalist, reporter, asking questions, probing जैसे मिलता है, researching the man's own writing. लगता तो है. आगे चलते हैं. Let's look at B. Put a hold on A. Let's look at B. Tobar got his start as a volunteer for EL Tecolot, a community newspaper in San Francisco, and wrote for newspaper for years before earning a degree in creative writing and starting to publish work of fiction. Is this an evidence for the claim made? Why not?
So because journalism is a whole big concept, and here we are only talking about writing something like a community.
No. Why not? Very good. This is about how did he start his career. It hardly talks about कि उसकी writing में वो कैसे technique use करता है. नहीं? You agree?
Actually, I have no idea of which question you're talking about.
बहुत जल्दी बताया तुमने मुझे. So this is session 1 का question number 6. Session 1. Question number 6. Hector Tobar. Are you there, Sneha?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So B cannot be an answer. B cannot be an answer since this is talking about कि Tobar ने अपना career कैसे चालू किया. And if you look at the claim is made कि Tobar की writing में journalism वाली expertise है, okay, which he uses in his fiction writing. That is the claim. ये उसका evidence नहीं हो सकता. Starting कैसे किया career. Question option C. Many of Tobar's notable non-fiction articles are marked by writers' use of techniques usually associated with fiction, such as complex narrative structures and incorporation of symbolism. But where is journalism? In option C, it's talking about some techniques, but how are those journalism wala technique, or where is journalism technique? ये तो journalism की techniques है नहीं. So forget it, because journalism is about researching, inquisitiveness, probing, asking. ये journalism होता है. तो ये तो नहीं है. So of course this is not the right evidence. Come down to D. The protagonist of Tobar's third novel. Who is protagonist? Anirudh Patil,
A character from a particular.
the main character,
Yes.
the hero as we call it, from Bollywood, है ना? वो protagonist होता है. So the protagonist of Tobar's third novel is a man who wants to be a novelist, keeps notes about interesting people he encounters, so he can use them in developing characters of his stories. Bolo, why not? Mention किया ना? Protagonist of third novel is a novelist who keeps something interesting, encounters people. But क्या वो himself है? Tobar doing it himself? It's not Tobar doing it himself. है ना? And this is a novelist, but क्या वो journalist है? The protagonist, we don't know. So again, only option A is a right evidence to suggest and prove the claim that he applies journalism technique to the creation of his book. Option A is the best option. Right, guys? So correctly, I am only discussing questions from session 1 exercise, which these two guys would have faced problem with. 7th wala. B. Bolo, Anirudh. Both say B, and B is the right answer. B सही answer है. इसमें ना अब क्योंकि
इसने सबसे ज्यादा टाइम लिया. All other questions.
So then let's discuss.
Yes.
So we are discussing this. 7th question. Session 1, 7th question. Electra wala. Electra is a circa 420-410 BCE. Play by Shopko Sophocles, translated in 1870 by R.C. Jebb. Electra, अब now who is Electra? Who is in mourning for her dead father and her long absent brother. So there's something sad going on, you know, because mourning is happening. Is aware of the intensity of her grief. She's aware how intensely she's sad. Sorrow uska kitna bada hai, wo is aware of that intensity, this lady Electra, but believes it is to be justified. So if you read this passage, basically the claim is that this lady Electra, the claim is that she's very sad, high order ka sadness and grief, and she thinks that this can be justified. Why is she so sad? Why the intensity of her grief is so high? She thinks this can be justified. Bolo. We go to which quotation from Electra most effectively illustrate the claim? So claim is, हम यहाँ पे claim लिखते हैं. Claim है high intensity of sadness. मैं grief नहीं लिख रहा, sadness लिख देता हूँ, which is grief. This is justifiable. This is justifiable. रुको बारी रुको 2 minutes. This is justifiable. That's all, right?
Yes, sir.
She can justify about this intensity. So this intensity is justifiable is the claim. Right, Sneha, Nihit, you guys agree?
Yes, sir.
ये देखते हैं कि ये जो claim है, कौन सा इसको supporting evidence है? पहला वाला लेते हैं. Option A. पढ़ो अनिरुद्ध.
Both how pure sunlight and how air, earth's canopy, how often have ye heard the strains of my lament, the wild blows dealt against this bleeding breast when dark night fades.
Okay, सबसे पहले वो red pen नहीं है ना यहाँ पे. चलो, lament का मतलब बताओ. What does this mean?
Crying due to grief.
Yes. So when you cry and you're very sad and you make noises out of grief, generally it means lamenting. Blows dealt against bleeding breast. When so इससे क्या पता चलता है?
The she is sad, but the reason.
Yes. Your option doesn't look so strong. I know that there is lamenting. Lamenting is again a high order of sadness. तो ये तो पता चलता है. But why this should be done? ये intensity उसको ऐसा कितना sorrow क्यों carry करना चाहिए is not clear. This doesn't look to be a strong candidate. Move on.
I know my own passion, it escapes me not. But seeing that the causes are so dire, will never curb these frenzied plains while life is in me.
Okay. Now, if you look at this, the B part, I know my own passion. It escapes me not. But, so there's another idea coming in. Seeing that the causes are so dire, what does this mean, dire?
Urgent or
क्या मतलब होता है anybody? The
serious urge.
the approach to Mumbai airport during rainy season is in a very dire state. Hard, terrible, bad, dire conditions, dire situations, serious conditions, bad, seriously bad, terrible. Everything is dire out here. Will never curb these frenzies, means which cannot be put into fences, kind of, out of control.
While
Plaint means complaints. ऐसे याद रख सकते हो. Plaints, pain, complaints. While life is in me. So I know that things are very bad, or rather I know what I am doing and there is a lot of grief. But you cannot, actually mellow this down because things are very bad. And because things are so bad, will never curb the sadness in you. So there looks a justification that things are very bad. And she understands that actually there's a lot of sadness, complaints, and she will continue doing this thing till there is life in her because things are very bad. This looks a very probable answer. But जब भी evidence का question होगा, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ चारों options पढ़ो. Go to C. Nidini?
Send to me, my brother, for I have no against the load of grief that weighs me down.
Why not?
Talking about her intensity of grief, but there is no justification to her.
No justification, and she's ready to possibly give it all. जबकि give it all जैसा कुछ वहां पे ऊपर नहीं दिख रहा है हमको, claim में नहीं है. She is ready to stop, give life or whatever it is. She has no strength left.
But then if we see in option B, like the last sentence she says, like she's going to life is in me. So, like interpreting that means she.
No, what she's saying is, let me read it after dire. हम option B पे वापस जा रहे हैं. Will never curb, so I'll never control these out of control complaints till the life is in me. I'll go on, I'll continue, and I'll go for this thing, for sadness and grief. I'll never, because I'll never curb, which means I'll never cut down these out of control complaints till there is life in me. मैं इसको कभी बंद नहीं करने वाली. Okay. Let's look at D. But never will I cease from Turk, which is a sad song. Turk is a sad song. In certain cultures, you sing sad songs at somebody's death. So it's something like that. And sore lament, while I look on trembling rays of bright stars, or on this light of day. So again, there is a lot of grief. The intensity is seen, but there is no justification. Why would you want to continue this sadness? So the best option I have is option B. She says, I will continue all of this because state of things or affairs are very bad. सिर्फ option B में कोई एक justification मिल रहा है for long sadness, for long intensified sadness. So answer would be option B. Sneha, Nihit बोलो.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. चलो, Didi Singh, come in. 8th, guys. Eighth. A. Tithi, बैठो. We are discussing session 1 questions. Next time, please be on time. मैंने आज अलाउ किया, फिर मैं अलाउ नहीं करने वाला. So A, B, C, D में से, so we are discussing questions. आपने किए हैं all 8 from 5 to 12. So 8th question पे आ गए. Let me know your answer. If your answers are correct and you don't want any discussion, हम लोग आगे बढ़ जाएंगे. नहीं तो we will discuss. 8th question पे आ जाओ, last sheet में से. This answer is option A. You agree? No discussion required. ठीक है. 9th.
D.
Delhi. D. So we will discuss. So we will discuss. D या C. Confusing है ये. ठीक है. So guys, we are doing question number 9 on your sheet. Read it. 30 seconds. सिर्फ पढ़ लो, फिर साथ में solve करेंगे. Command of evidence. कौन सा होगा? Scientific है कि textual है भाई? Scientific.
Scientific.
Scientific. This is interesting. Very very close है और इसमें weakening the potential explanation पूछा है. And I agree with you guys. This is not that straightforward. ये ना मुझे भी tricky लग रहा है. Yes. I'll read it slowly. Many governments that regularly transfer money to individuals to provide supplemental incomes for senior citizens, for example, have long done so electronically. But other countries typically have distributed physical money and have only recently developed electronic transfer infrastructure. Simple सा concept है अभी तक तो. अब ये research आ जाती है यहाँ पे. Researchers studied that introduction of electronic transfer system in one such location, okay, and found that recipients of electronic transfer consumed a different array of foods than recipients of physical transfer of the same amount did. Okay. One potential explanation for this result is that individuals conceive of and allocate funds in physical money differently than they conceive of and allocate fund in electronic form. So read this research, and when you read this research, which finding from the study, if true, would directly weaken the potential explanation. So my first question is, how would you state the claim in simple words after you have read it and rephrased it? तो एक बार फिर से पढ़ लो और फिर मुझे बताना.
Conceiving and allocating funds.
नहीं, I don't think. It's not talking about conceiving and allocating fund.
Introduction of electronic transfer.
No, that is not the claim. Dekho, you guys are not totally wrong, but you are not there.
Researchers studied the
What is their main claim, Titi? My question is, ये research का main claim क्या है बताओ? The main claim is not conceiving an allocation of fund. The main claim is not.
electronic transfers consumed a different
और build करना पड़ेगा इसको. Sorry. Claim will not be coming directly from this. ये आपको rephrase करके simple words में बताना है. You guys can also take a shot. What do you think is the claim? ये पूरे passage का research का main claim क्या है? In your own words, in few words, maybe a line. Are they talking about conceiving an allocation of fund?
Difference in spending money by different categories.
Absolutely, very good. If you look at this, what they are talking about is they are talking about two systems. एक electronic transfer किया, एक physical transfer किया. Electronic transfer करने वालों का behavior थोड़ा सा अलग था, physical transfer करने वालों का behavior अलग. So basically they are talking about, क्या बोला तुमने? तुम जो बोलोगे मैं वही लिखा.
difference in spending money shown by different categories.
So difference in कुछ भी इसमें right, absolute wrong नहीं है. But the key word is this. Difference in spending money based on difference in spending money. Let's say मैं आगे complete करता हूँ. Based on how it was given, based on source, how it was distributed, how it was transferred. Okay, it could be physical transfer हुआ है या electronic transfer हुआ है. अब ये कैसे पता चल रहा है? Last line में फिर से पढ़ता हूँ आपके लिए. Last two line. One potential explanation for this result is that individuals conceive or allocate funds in physical money differently than they conceive. So those sources हैं, they allocate, conceive, consume things differently. So you can also say difference in behavior. Basis कैसे money transfer हुआ है. बोलो guys. This is the claim, and they're talking about the difference. The researchers are talking about the difference. The researchers are not talking about food पे कितना allocate कर रहे हैं. The researchers are not talking about money electronic transfer हुआ है क्या. Rather, they are talking about difference basis how it was distributed. Two sources was there. Having understood the claim now, and after rephrasing it, let's go and test each of the evidence. क्या वो इसको weaken करता है? ध्यान रखना. सपोर्टिंग नहीं चाहिए. एक ऐसा एविडेंस अगर वो ट्रू हो जाएगा शुड वीकन द क्लेम ऑफ द रिसर्च. ये क्लियर है ना? क्या आंसर बोला आपने? डी नहीं, तुमने कुछ और बोला था पहले. हाँ, डी या सी बोला था. डी या सी बोला था.
डी.
अच्छा, डी बोला था तुमने. व्हाई नॉट ए? नहीं, ऐसे नहीं. ए रीड करो.
Recipients of electronic transfers typically spend their fund at slower rate than recipients of physical transfers did. So it is not weakening, it is rather strengthening the claim.
So if you, very good, if you look into this, there are recipients of electronic transfer, they spend their money at a slower rate than recipient of physical transfer. तो ये किसी behavior, अगर ये true हो गया, तो ये difference in behavior को बता रहा है. अगर ये स्टेटमेंट ए को एविडेंस के रूप में हम ट्रू मान लें, अगर ये ट्रू है तो ये डिफरेंस इन बिहेवियर को सजेस्ट कर रहा है. बिकॉज जिसको पैसा इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली मिला वो स्लोअर रेट पे स्पेंड करता है कंपेयर टू जिसको फिजिकली मिला. तो मतलब डिफरेंट बिहेवियर नहीं हो, वो सपोर्ट कर रहा है. रिसर्चर्स यही तो बोल रहे हैं, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन सोर्स बिहेवियर स्पेंडिंग में डिफर. And if A becomes true, it is not, it's not weakening, rather it is supporting the research. Hence the right answer नहीं हो सकता. बोलो नहीं. Okay. Okay. Let's come down to B or C में है ना. Kriti Singh, why not B? What's problem with B? So B read करो and then we will discuss that.
So,
Why not B? Why not B, Anirudh?
you can't say that it's strengthening the claim, but you can say that it's supporting the claim one way or the other. It's not weakening as the question.
Plus, I think it's
Sir, it is mentioned in the paragraph that
so if you look at 1, 2, 3, third last line. If you look at the third last line, they say that they receive the same amount. जबकि यहाँ पे एक extra information दे दिया है, small amounts of money relatively frequently, while others receive large amount of money relatively infrequently. Any extra information where you will have to, अगर आपको extra information लाके evidence को prove करना पड़ रहा है, तो वो right answer कभी नहीं हो सकता. So small amount, large amount, extra information है. पैसेज में उसकी बात नहीं की गई है. पैसेज में ये बोला है same amount of money मिला है. अब वो अलग अलग टाइम पे ज्यादा मिला है या ज्यादा मिला है at a less frequency, उस पे कुछ बात नहीं है. This is extra information. We cannot use this. What is problem with you say C or D, you say B or C? ऐसा कुछ है. तो अब C मुझे ही prove करता है, मैं करता हूँ proof C को. चलो C क्यों नहीं होगा? Recipient of physical transfer tended to purchase food about as frequently as recipient of electronic transfer did. So if you very closely read this, मैं फिर से पढ़ता हूँ. Recipient of physical transfers tended to purchase food about as frequently as recipient of electronic transfer did. So guys, if you understand this phrase as frequently, कौन से dimension को समझाता है as frequently? Okay, I am early to class as frequently as my students are early to class. So as many times you have come early, I have come early. This is talking about time. So what is the problem? This is not talking about time. This is talking about
Spending.
about a different behavior. So this is not talking about how are you spending differently. It is talking about spending the same time. So time का तो कोई claim ही नहीं है. Why should there be an evidence on this? Anyway, हमको तो weakening देखना है. अब इसका आंसर है D. अगर D true हुआ तो ये weaken कर देगा argument. तो आप नहीं बोलेंगे है ना, जब तक मैं नहीं पूछूंगा. बट गुड, ये तुमने जो रीजनिंग बताई है वेरी गुड, यू हैव रियली रेड इट केयरफुली. अब आप दोनों को प्रूव करना है, एनी वन ऑफ यू एंड इवन यू टू आल्सो. आई से आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी. यू विल हैव टू क्रिएट जस्टिफिकेशन टू जस्टिफाई बाय डी. मैं डी पढ़ता हूं इन माय ओन वे. Nearly every recipient of electronic transfer withdrew the entire amount in physical money shortly after receiving the transfer. अगर ये ट्रू हो जाएगा तो रिसर्चर का क्लेम वीक हो जाएगा. Why? Why? The claim is gone.
It's about the differences.
देखो प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गया, मैंने बोल दिया राइट है, तो हम लोग कई बार अब वो कोशिश करेंगे कुछ भी रीजंस देके. बट लेट्स सी इफ वी कैन रीच टू द राइट रीजन. यस तिथि सिंह, स्नेहा, निहित, if I tell you option D is right, can you tell me why option D is right? Why if this is true, this will weaken researchers claim जो मैंने बोर्ड पे लिखा, इसको वो वीक कर देगा. नहीं मैडम, रीड इट केयरफुली, वापस पढ़ो, ये तो खतरनाक वाला रीजन. बोलो.
The physical money. So the both kind of recipients will end up spending the money.
And both are spending what kind of money?
Physical.
So if they are spending same physical money, then there is no difference wala parameter. Though they received it electronically, but they withdrew the entire amount. और अब दोनों का spending physical हो रहा है. अगर ये true हो गया, तो researcher का ये पूरा claim false हो गया, क्योंकि उनका spending physical हो ही नहीं रहा है. So difference in spending, because a source is different, doesn't stand any chance, क्योंकि actually spending दोनों का ही physical. The way it has been said, अगर ये true है, research का claim weak हो जाए. Okay, guys, Neil, do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You always agree with me. चलो, thank you. वो नहीं आया ना आज? कैलम नहीं आया आज. हाँ, चारुल भी नहीं आई आज, और मैं उसका फुल नेम आज याद भी करके आया था. चलो 10th A. आंसर तो बोलो. A. So ये सबका A है, तो मैं इस पे लिख जाता हूँ. 11th. Of course we can. आप बोलो. D. आप बोलो. Interesting question. So guys, 30 seconds, question number 11 पढ़ लो, and then we will discuss. Second last problem from session 1. And आप लोग तैयार रहो with your reasoning. Why not A? Why not B? Why not C? Why not D? If not D. What's your answer? ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, तो अभी करेंगे हम लोग डिस्कस, अभी समझ में आएगा. अच्छा, उसमें ना अंडरलाइन नहीं है आपकी शीट में.
क्लेम बनाया, आई थिंक मैंने अंडरलाइन किया खुद से क्लेम. यस.
हाँ,
बाय रीडिंग.
बताओ क्या है.
the only modern humans develop system.
अरे claim क्या है क्या? Guys 11th में एक छोटा सा correction करना है. I am reading second last line वहाँ पे आएगा correction. According to archaeologists, comma this suggests that. उसके बाद वहाँ से underline करो. That के बाद से the notches were all made at one time by one individual as a means of counting something. The notches से लेके counting something तक underline करना है, क्योंकि अगर आप question पढ़ेंगे, question says which finding if true would directly weaken the underlined claim. तुमने वही किया था,
बस ऊपर वाले में थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट
चलेगा. Suggest that से समझ में आना चाहिए कि claim यहाँ से आ रहा है. But अगर SAT में पेपर पे ही क्वेश्चन आएगा, I mean on your screen, of course this part will be underlined because they are saying underlined claim. ठीक है, अब आपने क्या underline किया मुझे नहीं पता.
नहीं, I started
this
वो ऊपर वाला the notches on the bones are, फिर नीचे तक गए पूरा. हाँ तो ज्यादा गड़बड़ नहीं है कुछ. I understand. नहीं ठीक है, चलेगा. ये क्वेश्चन में इशू है. चलो read it. We do this together. So ये क्वेश्चन तो मैं अब आपसे पूछूंगा नहीं claim क्या है, क्योंकि ये तो underlined claim है. And claim says that the notches were all made at one time by one individual as a means for counting something. और ये किसकी बात हो रही है? 1970 60,000 years ago, we saw kind of one with discovered at a site in Western France, one thoughts. So if I have to rephrase it, how would you guys rephrase it? This claim, how would you rephrase? What does this claim actually talks about in simple words? Can you rephrase it?
Method of recording numerical information.
So these guys or these tribe, whatever, let me call them tribe. So this tribe, they क्या बोला?
Method of recording.
They knew method of क्या? Recording numericals, numbers. हाँ ठीक है, अच्छा लग रहा है. Small thing, but yes. So this tribe, they knew how to record numbers. They are saying of the four options, which if true would weaken this claim. है ना? Nidini? Okay, let's go to A. And Sneha, you will have to help us understand why A will not be the right answer. Why, if A is true, will weaken it. Can you please read it loudly for us? Unmute karo, padho, and then.
Parallel lines are common features in modern humans' early system for recording numerical information.
Yes, so if this is true, will this weaken the underlying claim?
Yes.
It will weaken, right? Weak kar dega is argument ko weak kar dega. हाँ, ये weak कर देगा उस argument को. Argument ये है कि tribes knew how to record numbers. I need an evidence which should weak, contradict, not support, go against this claim. I think this will support the claim. Parallel lines are a common feature in modern humans' early systems for recording numerical information. ये support कर रहा है ना? तो ये मेरा आंसर नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि उनको तो weakening argument चाहिए, evidence चाहिए. Why not be Anirudh Patel?
More than 9 approximately. I will just read it.
Of course.
More than 9 approximately parallel notches made with a different stone tool are present on another artifact found at a site in Western France. So again, it is mentioning a method of counting, making parallel lines.
Maybe, may not be. हमेशा parallel line मतलब counting नहीं होगा, but हमेशा parallel line मतलब artifact भी नहीं होगा. If this is true, maybe the new counting, may not be the new counting. I don't know. क्योंकि वो parallel lines है तो कुछ pattern है. शायद counting आता था, शायद counting नहीं आता था. So this will weaken it for sure? नहीं. I'm not sure. Tithi, you will help us with C.
It would have taken several effort to make these lines of bone, stone tools, typically used by neanderthals. I think that this doesn't weaken or support the thing, but it just doesn't tell us about what the lines were for.
Yes.
So
So I don't
we
know.
don't know if it's for numbers, if it's for anything else.
And they were done evenly spread था. So we really don't know ये counting के लिए था कि नहीं, but evenly spread था caves में. But कोई artifact था, वो भी मैं sure नहीं. So I'm not very sure this will weaken. Let's go. So but let's hold on with C. B तो पक्का नहीं था, A तो पक्का नहीं था. C maybe. Let's look at B. Decorative are discovered at another site in Western France, was used for patterns of unevenly spaced parallel lines. Lines were parallel but unevenly spaced, and they were decorative art. So if this is true, this will weaken the claim that this tribe knew reading or recording rather. D is a better option. हमेशा चारों ऑप्शन पढ़ना, no matter how tempting is the previous option that you do. Okay, guys.
So you choose first choice.
You have to
I
choose.
wasn't able to.
And that is the first step.
Finding that.
You know how to improve that? It is practice. Let's read more of it. And मैंने देखा है वो तुमने सही बोला था उसने. Science type is not your type. Literature type is your type. तो ये scientific वाले में ही ज़्यादा issue आता है ना? No problem. हम और practice करेंगे. You will do practice when we give you test, mock test, chapter test. तो उसमें और practice हो. And the challenge part is ये अभी हो रहा है. There's not a lot of material available. हम जो पहले रीडिंग की बुक्स पढ़ते थे उसमें इस तरह से क्वेश्चंस नहीं थे. सो अभी जितना मटेरियल है उससे जितनी प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं वो करेंगे. 12th में एनी प्रॉब्लम? 12th बोलो.
Sir, option B.
ऑप्शन
B.
बॉम्बे. बी. तिथि बी. सो सबका करेक्ट है. नो डिस्कशन रिक्वायर्ड. So this is where we come down to end of the session. Nate and Sneha, we could do only selected problems. Sneha, there was no background of theory given to you. And Nate, आपने वो किया नहीं था, but ये ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता है. नेक्स्ट टाइम करके आना है ना, ज्यादा समय नहीं लगेगा. I think 8 problems should take you 2 minutes each. 30 minutes these guys say, तो निकालो उतना समय हमारे लिए और खुद के लिए. चलो, so we go ahead and we come down to session 2 technically, but this is actually session 3, guys. This session is talking about a new skill. आप लोगों को सेशन 3 की शीट मिल गई है. निहित आपको मिला? ज्योति मैडम ने भेजा है.
हाँ भेज दे.
So we will do session 3. And before we do session 3 is talking about अपने आप में a new skill. We just finished command of evidence textual. There's one more skill related to command of evidence, which is command of evidence quantitative, which will be similar to scientific wala. Yes. So you will have some graphs, और ग्राफ में कुछ डेटा है. वो डेटा से डिड्यूस करो कि कौन सा एविडेंस इस डेटा को सपोर्ट कर देगा, इस डेटा को वीक कर देगा. हाँ, वैसा वाला. इफ यू आर आस्किंग मी क्या ये मैथ्स के स्किल्स में बहुत काम आएंगे, आंसर इज यस. परसेंटेज वाला, रेशियो प्रोपोर्शन वाला और फ्रैक्शन वाला बहुत काम आएगा. तो अगर वो होगा तो ज्यादा अच्छे से कर पाओगे. तो वो होगा इन योर नेक्स्ट क्लास, जब भी नेक्स्ट क्लास होगा. Another good news is that for next 2 weeks, Christmas or New Year का off है. So coming 2 Saturdays, Sundays, no class. 24th, 25th December, no class. कल class है मैथ्स का. 31st December and 1st January, no class. जो अब नहीं है वो शायद बाय मिस्टेक आप देख रहा है टाइम. मैंने नहीं देखा. हाँ मैंने भी देखा था, वो करेक्ट करवाया मैंने. And so we meet on 7th January. 7 January, 8 January से भी resume. तो अभी दो. हाँ, so your batch is following something else. Rather you yourself is a batch from. हाँ, you will have test. Test होंगे. यहाँ के अब वहाँ तो देख सकते हैं, घर से देख सकते हैं. So we come down to third session where we'll talk about a skill called as, this is what we are going to do next now. Central idea, इसको कुछ लिटरेचर में मेन आइडिया क्वेश्चन भी बोलते हैं, कुछ जगह इसको बिग पिक्चर क्वेश्चन भी बोलते हैं. So central idea, main idea, big picture, detail or details, so central ideas or details. So we are talking about this particular skill in the session that I'm going to start now. So what I will do is I'll use a PPT. So for the time being, let me do a stop share and do a screen share. कहाँ से basic everything share करो, presentation आ गया है. ये स्क्रीन दिख रहा है आप लोगों को?
हाँ सर.
Okay, thank you. So we are going to do this skill today, which is called central idea and details. Central idea and details. So unmute करना, जहां समझ में नहीं आया आप दोनों मुझसे बात करना. So this is what we are going to do now. We are going to talk about central idea and detail parts. ये क्या होता है? Straightforward, if I tell you, just like we have seen in this sheet, you'll have a passage. The whole idea is to read the passage, of course, a short passage, understand, summarize in your own words, find out of the option, which is the main idea, the big picture, the central idea conveyed in that passage. As simple as this. So it's about comprehension. Read करो passage को एक बार दो बार, find out कि gist क्या है, किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, theme क्या है, main idea क्या है, big picture क्या है, central idea क्या है, जिसके बारे में वो बात किया जाए, वो passage है. Or there could be a question where they may ask you about a particular phrase or certain lines in that passage. What do they mean? ऐसा भी हो सकता है. So they can ask you one idea from the passage, or they can ask you a particular detail from that passage. Both will require same kind of skill, which is reading and understanding. Reading and understanding. Vocabulary, idioms become a key part, or I should say one of the important things. अच्छे idioms, phrases पता होना, and अच्छा strength होना, command होना, and vocabulary पे command होना can be an added advantage with such type of problems. Once you read the passage, you'll be asked either to identify main idea of the text, जो मैं बता रहा हूँ, or answer a specific question that is based on that text. So the question will look something like this. The question is on your screen, guys. It's on your screen now. So ये पढ़ो. I'll give you 1 minute. Please read it and tell me what you think it is talking about in your own words. अभी पढ़ो. Red guys, Nate, Sneha.
Yes.
Nate, what do you think basically this passage is talking about?
It is talking about the primary sources of writing and the older sources of
Okay.
literature.
Okay. अच्छा, ठीक है. So I'm not commenting right now, but I'm just trying to understand how much have you understood from this. Thank you. Sneha, you go next.
Sir, actually, I didn't understand the passage.
So what do you think roughly this passage is talking about? A guesstimate will work for me.
It is talking about something, the Black Power movement.
This is talking something about, come again,
Black
power movement. Black power movement.
Yeah.
Black power movement.
So it's the talking about dominance of male contribution to the Black Power movement over the ones made by the Black women.
Okay, so this is talking about dominance of male contribution in Black revolution and not so much about Black women's contribution to Black revolution. Male dominance की बात कर रहा है किसी revolution में Black women को neglect कर रहा है. ये passage वो वाला एक idea दे रहा है.
Sharing the perspective, I wouldn't say wrong about it, but the sharing the perspective of people or the philosophers who are male and not the women who are trying to get
You know, good part is निहित से थोड़ा सा improve स्नेहा ने किया, अनिरुद्ध ने किया, इसने और उसको refine किया. So what she is saying is, so I'm not asking what it is not talking about it. सिर्फ constructive hat पहनना है, critical hat नहीं पहनना है इसको answer करते समय. So you give your perspective. So what she is saying is that this is talking about a perspective where, you know, this particular person, Ashley D. Farmer. So what she is saying is that there's a lot of contribution by Black women, and there are literatures which are constrained, limited in actually talking about the contribution of these people, Black women's contribution. Is there anything left for you now? What do you say?
So about the evolution of political parties and really in the sources would be.
So this is talking about including more resources rather than only literature, which are more male written. They come because the source is more male writers. So including more literature so that the contribution of Black women and the role that they played in some movement can be appreciated, acknowledged, right, publicly. अब ये जितना भी हमने नियत से लेके निधिनी तक हम आए और हमने जो डिस्कशन किया और वो जो लास्ट में फ्रेज किया, guys, if you understand, हम अभी इवॉल्व कर रहे हैं इसको. More or less इसका मेन आइडिया वही है जो हमने लास्ट में बोला. So नियत started, उसको improve किया, फिर किसी ने improve किया, फिर improve किया. As a class, we have come to a conclusion that the main idea is something around including of more sources to appreciate the contribution of Black women in some movement. Okay? Bolo Nid?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I am going to options, and question is which choice best describes the main idea of the text. We'll go option by option. पहला वाला लेते हैं, and I want to know your views. What say? क्या ये main idea है हम लोगों का?
No.
Now let's test the main idea that we have summarized to the options. Before Farmer's research, historians had largely ignored the intellectual dimension of Black power movement. So there's no main idea. This is not the main idea because उसके research के पहले कुछ ignore किया गया और उसके research के बाद acknowledgement हो रहा है. उसका research ऐसा नहीं है. Right? तो ये तो main idea नहीं है. Do we agree as a class?
Yes.
Let's look at B now. B option देखते हैं. Read it, Nidhi. Lovely.
Farmers, methods, and research have enriched the historical understanding of the Black Power movement and Black women's contributions.
Farmer is our protagonist.
Somewhat.
Looks like a good option. Looks like a good option. Her methods and research have enriched, जैसा इसने word use किया था दीदी ने कि एक perspective लेके आ रही है. So enrich the historical understanding उस power movement का and contribution of Black women in that. So वो enrich कर रही है through her research. Okay, looks a good one. Let's look at C. Let's look at C, guys. Other historian. Nahi, straight away. We are not talking about other historians and how have they evaluated, critically reviewed farmer का research को उन्होंने कैसा evaluation किया, उसमें तो कहीं लिखा ही नहीं है. Farmer के research का critique तो उसमें है ही नहीं, ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता. बोलो. Let's look at D.
I think option B is.
Same logic. D. This passage is not about what others think, agree or disagree from farmers' research. कहीं भी पैसेज में ऐसा नहीं लिखा है कि कोई एग्री करेगा, डिसएग्री करेगा, क्रिटिक करेगा, नोबेल मिलेगा, नहीं मिलेगा, क्या होगा. Nobody is talking about that in the passage. So the right answer is B. Her research. और आप देखिए जो हमने भी summarize किया, evolve करके, add करके as a class, हम भी यही कुछ बोल रहे थे. That she is bringing some perspective that include more literature to see कि इस movement में कैसे black women ने contribute किया. तो ये भी है. This is main idea. बोलो, am I making sense? तो अब ऐसे questions आएंगे तो आप crack कर सकते हैं. तो if you see guys, अब मैं इसके theory पे आता हूँ. So this is what I will be doing in every class. अब एक concept लेंगे, फिर SAT similar question लेंगे, उसको apply करेंगे और अब देखेंगे कि actually हमने subconsciously क्या किया. तो भाई subconsciously आपने ये किया. Question focus on reading comprehension in a straight way. You don't need any outside knowledge. Outside knowledge like दूसरे researcher ने उसको support किया, criticize किया. अगर कुछ भी आता है, rule it out, वो answer हो ही नहीं सकता. We will simply need to read passage carefully. So these questions could be of central idea, which will ask you to do these things. It should cover majority of the details introduced in the text. It should mention any particular point of emphasis, in this case, including other literature. It would mention that. Main idea question would not focus on just one detail. It will not introduce new ideas and it should not contradict from the option given. ये सब मैं आपको दे दूंगा in a PDF format. So जो central idea का question होगा, जो हमने देखा वो central idea का question था, वो detail वाला question नहीं था. तो it will cover all major points. It will mention or emphasize on some main important particular points, but not on one point only. Will not have any extra information and should not contradict the information from the text. अगर वो detail oriented question है, then you will have to answer a specific question about some idea contained in the passage. Detailed questions can usually be answered by using information from the passage. They may direct you to some phrase. हम करते हैं ऐसा एक question. So they will not ask you कि central idea बताओ, but they may direct you to a phrase or a word in the passage, and then you may be required to find where it is in the passage and give your answers. Okay. So what are you doing? You are summarizing text in your own words. ये पहला step था हमारा. हमने उसको पढ़ा and as a class हमने उसको summarize किया. Then हमने determine किया कि क्या करना है. Is it about main idea या कोई एक particular information पता करना है. तो हमने देखा summary के बाद that it is about main idea, central idea का question. अगर आपने वो identify कर लिया है, then revisit your summary. After you've identified, revisit your summary to see that is it theme or is it anything specific that you want to find, and then test that thing against your options. So predict, eliminate, choose, read all 4 options, cut करते जाओ, best option को pick करो. ये सब आपको मिलेगा. So summarize करो, उसके बाद find करो कि क्या करना है. अगर आपने पता किया ये theme based question है तो revisit करो summary को. अगर आपने पता किया कि ये detail oriented question है तो paragraph में वापस जाके ढूंढो कि वो word कहाँ है, and then eliminate your options. Options elimination पे जाओ जैसे भी कर रहे थे and choose the best one. Let's solve another. ये सब ठीक है? Simple theory, very very simple theory. So अच्छा, there are some top tips also. I don't think इसमें वो वैसा ही है. You should be specific. Other historians पे बात नहीं हो रही थी. Keep your prediction short and simple. Use keyword as map for detail oriented. मुझे question लेने दो. मैं उसमें समझाता हूँ. So if a question is about detail, then it will point to some phrase, sentence or word from the passage. Idea is go to that word or passage and go a line up and down. Try and make contextual meaning and answer. तो अभी देखते हैं, मुझे इसका एक application दिखाने दो. So here is the passage for you guys. Read it. ये passage पढ़ो, फिर करते हैं इसको. This is a detail oriented question. ये last में पढ़ के समझना है. Done, guys. Now so you don't have to announce. I want you to make a summary of what you have read. What is this passage about? What is the summary of this passage? Basically about this guy called Bill. You have done that? Okay. So once you have done this, if you read the question says, according to the text, why does Bill regularly ask about seafaring men? Now the point is, this is not about central idea. ये seafaring men को यहाँ पे ढूंढो and try and read and understand why would he generally, regularly ask from his landlords about these guys. Did they come, stay? Why would he do that? वो आपको कहीं ना कहीं ये word वहां पे ढूंढना है और उसके वो question पूछने पे आपको जाना है. Okay, so I don't know which line you are reading, but you'll have to reach out to that detail wala thing. After you have done that, I am going to options. He isn't sure that other guests at the inn will be welcoming of sailors. Right? This is not the right answer. This is not the reason why he is regularly asking about seafaring men. Do we agree? There's nothing about other guests. Option B, batao. No. He's trying to secure a job. Doesn't look like. Uske employment status पे तो कुछ भी नहीं बोला जा रहा है यहाँ पे. So this is extra information or a big assumption. चलो भैया. Next one.
No.
Why not?
Because there's
Our old friend.
It said that he is one of the kind, one of the
Agreed.
sea.
Agreed. Yes. Yes.
But he's always quiet as a mouse when they are around. So he's definitely not being your friend.
And through the curtained door.
Yeah.
So this is something that you will not do with old friends. You know. So this is not the answer. For sure, answer is option D. But D पढ़ लीजिए. ये देखो. He doesn't want to encounter any other seller unexpected. He wants to avoid them. Yes, absolutely right. So why is he not keen on meeting them? If you see, though is always asking, but passage में जहाँ पे ये but आता है ना, turn of event होते हैं. Hold. This one. Desirous to. So this is the main reason. And hence answer is option B. Bolo guys. है ना simple? I guess that this is more manageable than the previous topic, though previous wala was also easy. So chalo, आगे चलते हैं. Why don't you try on your own this particular question? You decide the main idea या detail है. Read the passage, then we go to the options. Summarize in your own words. Look what has been asked. If it is main idea, try and find that out. If it is detailing, go inside the passage once again. Go to the choices and everything. Can I go to the choices now? मैं चारों एक साथ दिखाता हूँ आपको choices. You don't have to announce your answers right now. आप लोग सिर्फ देखो इसको. And when I ask, only then you announce. Sorry. Question 3. So this is the main idea question.
Announce.
नहीं. Done?
Yeah.
अरे very fast. बताओ भाई, my online team स्नेहा done?
Sir, still thinking.
हाँ ठीक है. निहित?
No.
Okay, that makes 2 of you. चलो, take 30 seconds more. लिखो कॉपी. अल्फाबेट लिखो. A B C D. अच्छा, very good. Good.
Done, sir.
Sneha, what about you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Nate, announce first. Which option?
C.
Sneha?
Yes, sir. Even I go with C.
C, and everybody says C. अच्छा तो ये इतना easy था. So answer is C. Fear is physically, socially awkward. और इसमें?
Absent-minded.
And there are a lot of clues. So deliberately unpleasant to others, excessively formal तो पक्का नहीं है वो general का hat लेके चला गया है and all that. And उसको वो जो बोलते हैं ना, there's a देखो यहाँ पे I think there's a phrase also which says stout average this. He did not know, as the saying is, how to enter a drawing room and still less how to leave one. पक्का formal तो नहीं है. Has a good sense of humor. There's nothing mentioned about his cracking jokes or humor thing. But of course, this guy is clumsy for sure. किसी का भी हैंड ले जाता है और फिर बोलना पड़ता है और उसके feathers को खींचता है वो, pulling at the plume. Till general asked him to restore it. You know, so पक्का that he's very clumsy, casual, तो awkward यहीं से मिल जाता है. Right, guys? Physically, yes, stout, less than height, about the average height. Huge red hands, he did not know, and so on. So physically and so on. Okay, so this is about it. I think यहाँ पे इसको बंद करते हैं. You guys want a break?
No, sir.
और online वाले break चाहिए कि हम अगर जल्दी करेंगे तो हम फिर जल्दी भी खत्म कर देंगे. Shall we continue?
Okay. Yes.
You don't actually have a choice. ये क्या है ना, online में थोड़ा choice कम मिलता है. I know, it happens. No problem. So we go to मैं इसको इस पे लेके जाता हूँ. Advance point ये वाला. इनको सिर्फ मुझे ही देखना है. शीट देखना नहीं. Okay, sorry. So this is session 3, central main idea. I want you to solve problem number 1 only right now, and let me give you 2 good minutes to solve it. Please solve. Question number 1 only. Correct. Correct. And correct. So this is a main idea question. Read it, summarize it, test against the option. जैसे हम practice कर लेंगे ये subconsciously होने लग जाएगा, and you will follow these steps. So Sneha and Nate, when you are done, just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. I know that you are done. SAT results were out yesterday for December attempt. So, which was the last paper based. We did well. We did really well. अभी भी वो results आ ही रहे हैं because they take time. But we have I think student in 1500, many in 1400s, in 1300s, and some in 1200s as well. And there's one student who is in 1100 also. But the large chunk is in 1400s. Which one? So this is very subjective because at all scores you get admission in decent universities in the US. It also depends on what major you are going for. If it is a very competitive major, then possibly 1400 would be less. If it's not so competitive major, 1400 can fetch you very good admit at a very prestigious university with scholarship. So there are a lot of subjective parameters. But yes, as a thumb rule with 1400, you can apply to most of the universities and you can expect some very good ones. Get to help, I can say that. And competitive majors like CS, computer science, economics, the competitive majors. Aerospace competitive majors में नहीं आता है. तो अगर मुझे 1400 में ग्रेड ए यूनिवर्सिटी एरोस्पेस के लिए मिलेगा, वो ग्रेड अगर मुझे सीएस में लेना है ग्रेड ए तो मुझे 1500 मिलेगा, एरोस्पेस मिल जाएगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट. बट ये सब बहुत ही ब्रॉड रिमार्क्स कर रहा हूँ और बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स. हाँ, but Vijay, that's a very different path और ये we will talk later. So even जितनी भी बातें की हैं, this is all non-medical. Medical में are you aware? हाँ, कि SAT से medical नहीं होता. हाँ, तो फिर SAT score का कोई मतलब नहीं है.
but he said that I can
Medical. बोलो स्नेहा, which option?
Sir, I feel that it might be C or D.
C or D? Nihat?
Yeah, C or D, but I think it should be B as B, like more.
C or D, but B more.
No. B and D,
Huh.
but B more.
Okay, so we'll do all three, B, C, D. So all of us agree that it is not A. The house is beautiful and well built, but children miss their old home in London. Why is this not the answer, Sneha?
Because in the second line itself, we get to know that it was rather inconvenient. Mother thought it was rather inconvenient. And the first line itself, it is not really pretty at all.
Even the first
From mother's eye. Please understand, that is mother's perception. Read last few lines. With no other house in the site, and the children had been in London for two years, without for 2 years, without so much as once going to seaside, even for a day by an excursion train. And so the White House seemed to them a sort of fairy palace set down in earthly paradise. तो बच्चों के लिए तो ये तो fairy palace है. How can this be? Children miss their old home in London. They are not missing their old home in London. This is exactly opposite of what is stated. Yes, absolutely. Look at B, guys. B देखो नहीं, Children don't like the house nearly as much as their parents do.
Yeah.
Quite opposite. Exactly opposite. Children's like and parents don't. Mother complains कि यहाँ तो shelf भी नहीं है और यहाँ तो cupboard भी नहीं है. Father complains कि ये कैसा architecture ये क्या बनाया है और ये क्या roof है. And बच्चा say that very talented. So B तो एकदम ही उल्टा है. C, each member of the family admires, not each. Come on, not each member. The two seniors member they don't. They are not admiring. They are complaining. है कि नहीं guys? D को पढ़ते हैं. Although their parents believe house have several drawbacks, children are enchanted, attracted by it.
So I think D is correct.
Which one? D is correct. D for Delhi is correct. Nihin, बोलो.
Yes, sir.
देखो mother का discomfort आ जाता है when she talks about no shelves, hardly a cupboard. Father says iron work on the roof. Coping up with an architect is a nightmare, and nightmare means bura sapna. So this is not good at all. But the house was deep in the country, and then bachon ka feeling. If you look at all of this, there are two groups. Seniors don't like it, and juniors admire it. They like it. They are enchanted, attracted. I mean, जिसको हम एक bamboozled बोलते हैं. They are actually very, very fine with the house and that place. So answer is D. है ना? ये तो थोड़ा सा straight forward वाला था. Question number 2. 1.5 minutes. And I want you to give me meaning of summarize in your own words. Okay. Correct. Which choice best states the main idea of the text? And what do you mean by this word? The land undulated very remarkably, and my path for last hour. Undulating.
It's a undulated topography.
Yes, absolutely right. ये इसका एकदम correct, most widely used context है.
Geography.
हाँ, so ऊपर नीचे topography. ऐसे याद रख सकते हो जैसे इसने याद रखा. Undulated topography, landform or the terrain moving up, down, something like that. Done? Correct. Sneha, Nihit?
I was confused.
बोलो, announce करो answer. Announce it for me. A, B, C, D. Question number 2 में कौन सा? Main idea क्या है?
Sir, A and B तो नहीं लग रहा है.
A और D नहीं लग रहा है.
B.
हाँ, B नहीं लग रहा है.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's challenge between C and D. देखो, A तो पक्का नहीं है because it says how he overcame them. There's nothing about his struggle to overcome. है ही नहीं वहाँ पे. B देखते हैं, the narrator described what he saw during a long trip to a frequently visited location.
Actually, different.
Yes, he's experiencing and living the moment. It's not only about seeing. Now C and D, the narrator recalls fond memory. This is not fond because second line says embarrassing. Look at D. The narrator remembers a trip he took and admits to getting lost. The land was so. My path for last one had roamed about so confusingly in a way in its effort to keep in the valley. that I no longer knew in what direction I was headed. So I was lost. So he's talking about some trip he took where he was lost. Nihit,
Yes, sir.
so this is my camera shaking and not me. हाँ, अगर आप लोगों को ऐसा feeling आएगा तो. The third one, guys. This is something interesting. मैं आपको 2 मिनट का समय देता हूँ. ध्यान से पढ़ना. And अच्छा, good, interesting problem है. And I think this is one word which you should add in your vocabulary list from this message. Obviated. That was quick and correct. Wow. Kriti, Anirudh. Yes, correct. Very good. Interesting. Done, Sneha?
Yes, sir.
Announce करो Sneha.
Sir, I think D या B है.
क्यों हमेशा दो? Life always will not give you options. तो अभी तो यहाँ तो ठीक है चलो. B या D है. हाँ. I agree. D भी अच्छा लग रहा है और B भी अच्छा लग रहा है. They are very close. So Nidhini, you read it for us. ये passage पढ़ो. Yes, and then we will go for solution. तब तक निहित भी कर रहा है. Go ahead.
In a paper about
Perovskite.
perovskite solar cell, one of several perovskite cell architectures designed to collect and store solar power.
Lindsay Macmillan Brown.
Brown describe a method for fabricating the cell.
What is this Airtel? What do you mean by this?
Is it a pen?
It is, yes.
It means and I don't know.
And others. So अगर हम चार ने रिसर्च किया, unless I boss around and I say मेरे नाम से जाएगा और तुम लोग का नाम भी आएगा मेरे बाद, so it will be Manish Saraf and others. So this stands for and others. ठीक है, चलो.
Describe a method for fabricating the cell's electronic transport layer (ETL) using a spray coating. Conventional ETL fabrication is accomplished using a solution of nanoparticles. The process can result in a loss of up to 80% of the solution, increasing the cost of manufacturing at scale, an issue that may be obviated by spray coating fabrication.
So what do you mean by obviated? Huh? Arise. So tackle. Your vocabulary list should not obviate the word obviate. Should not lack. Miss, remove, delete. इसका opposite होगा include. हाँ चलो भाई. So वहाँ से पढ़ो an issue that
may be obviated by spray coating fabrication, which the researchers described as highly reproducible, concise, and what does the text most strongly suggest about conventional ETL fabrication?
Now, this is a detail-based question. You have to find something about conventional ETL fabrication in this text. Now, A says Anirudh, B says two girls out here, Sneha says B or D. Nihit, what do you say?
D.
D. So A, B, D में सारा fight है. C हम सबको लगता है answer नहीं है. Let's see why not. It is somewhat imprecise and therefore limits the potential effectiveness of pin planar P solar cells at capturing and storing solar power.
There's no mention about other
ETL, conventional ETL के बारे में कोई बात नहीं हो रहा है, right? So this is not what they are asking. ये तो detail oriented question है, forget it. Come down to A. Let's see why not A. It typically entails a greater loss of nanoparticle solution than to other established approaches of ETL fabrication, which is not given. Other conventional, other approaches of ETL fabrication. There is an altogether new method. Come down to D. Why not D, guys?
Because in the passage it mentioned that the process is resulting in the loss of 80% of the solution. And as a result, it increases the cost of the manufacturing at large scales.
So why not
So,
D says it is more expensive when manufacturing at scale than are processes for fabricating ETLs used in other P solar architectures.
can be is more specific.
No, D cannot be. I want a precise reason. देखो क्वेश्चन क्या है, what are you suggesting, which of the text most strongly suggest about conventional ETL fabrication? So ETL fabrication के word पे आते हैं. Conventional ETL fabrication is accomplished using solution of this particle. The process can result in loss of 80% of solution, increasing the cost of manufacturing at scale. So if you do this, then if you want to scale it, ज़्यादा बनाना है, economies of scale लाना है, then because 80% of the solution loss होता है, it results in increasing the cost of manufacturing at scale. Look at D. It is more expensive when manufacturing at scale than are the processes of fabricating ETL. Fabricating ETL used in other P cells. Yes, absolutely. You are talking about only conventional ETL. You are not talking about any other type of ETL. आप दूसरी क्या बात कर रहे हो? आप स्प्रे, सॉरी, आप कुछ सोलर कुछ बात कर रहे हो ना? ये conventional ETL. Now look at B. It is less suitable for manufacturing large volumes of these cells than an alternative fabrication method maybe. So if you look at alternative fabricating method, yes, उसकी वो बात कर रहे हैं. उसके कंपैरिजन में लार्ज वॉल्यूम में मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए ये सूटेबल नहीं है, इसलिए आंसर भी है. ओके,
Yes.
चलो फोर्थ वन. सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज, नहीं फोर्थ अलग ही करना होगा. फोर्थ करो. सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, लेट मी गिव यू 1 मिनट का टाइम एंड इसमें आई वांट यू टू रिमेंबर दिस. Indigenous. Anyone? What do you mean by indigenous? Indigenous.
Something which is very traditional, indigenous food.
So I'll give you a exact meaning निकालने के लिए, let me give you a sentence. Maoris are indigenous inhabitants of New Zealand. You know Maoris? Red Indians are considered to be indigenous inhabitants of North America. Okay. Dal bati, so sorry, dal bati is the indigenous food for people of Rajasthan.
we say it's like a culture,
Sorry.
like a culture.
Speciality.
Specialty somewhere.
Bolo.
Speciality.
Speciality.
Sir, like it's Swadeshi type.
हाँ, improve करो इसको. Correct, सही जा रहे हो तुम. So this means the origin of that thing, people, food, culture. So not necessarily only culture. So it is original to that place. You know, it has come from that place. Huh? It belongs there.
Aborigines are the indigenous inhabitants of Australia.
Yes, absolutely right. एकदम सही. ठीक है, चलो. और ये होता है ingenious. Ingenious. एक है indigenous. तो ये आप लोगों ने जो बताया belonging to that place, origin, क्या बोला तुमने? Coming out from that place, something like that. एक है ingenious. What does this mean? She says it means not smart.
Born smart.
उल्टा ही हो गया पूरा. So UPI is an ingenious payment transfer system coming from India. Yes, something that is unique, very smart, intelligent, you know, coming from. So एक ingenious है और एक indigenous है. इन दोनों में difference होता है. So let's go ahead. Oh, done. हाँ. We do. चलो समय इसलिए नहीं तो मैं बोलता very good. We will have this session. पर अभी समय है. बहुत fast pace. What challenge did researchers have to overcome to examine the claims? This is a detailed oriented question. Correct. I think this is simple. Nihit, ये हो गया तुमसे? Announce करो. Option announce करो Nihit. Fourth का.
C.
Good. Good. Excellent.
Pass.
तुम आ जाओ यहाँ पे. नहीं अभी ऐसे कैसे आपने क्या किया? You realize आपने आप किया है? हाँ. Okay, ठीक है. I thought ये ठीक. Done. Tithi, we have led you to the answer, is it? So sorry. Sorry. So answer is Neha. Did you hear us?
Yes, sir. I heard.
So answer is
C.
so वो C है. I don't know what challenge did ये इतना tough नहीं होना चाहिए. आप लोगों को क्या लग रहा है? The cave was so remote. It's not talking about remoteness as a challenge.
Mentioned that the ceiling was like that was.
The cave ceiling was only a few feet.
It'll be harder to get it.
But it is accessible.
And how did so? They got in. It was only few feet. So ये तो problem नहीं है. Okay, so challenge was कि वो 3D में full view नहीं ले पा रहे थे. The cave dimension prevented researchers from fully viewing the elements. How much time do I have? So yeah, I have good time. तो 5 मिनट पहले खत्म करेंगे क्योंकि आपने break नहीं लिया था आप लोगों ने. So we go to question number 7. Question number 7, guys. 5th, 6th अभी नहीं. Let's do 7. Let me give you a minute time only. Okay. Another detail-oriented question. Let me know when done. Correct. Correct. Sneha Nihit.
But I thought that it can be so easy, so I started overthinking it.
This is the classic question of what was the name of the horse in movie Sholay? क्या नाम था उसका? बसंती तो नहीं था? हाँ, तो ये वैसा ही क्वेश्चन है अगर आप ऑप्शन सी देखोगे वो कार था कि वो पर्सन था जिसका उसने and for that you may have to read it once again. So guys, answer is Nate. Which piece of this person's art was on display in the automotive museum? Jesse Valadez, Pinata, painting of Los Angeles. A और B दोनों पेंटिंग है, ये तो पेंटिंग कर ही नहीं रहा है, तो आंसर हो ही नहीं सकता A और B पेंटिंग. और ये जो जेसी है ये तो पर्सन का नाम है. लाइन नंबर
Last second.
हाँ 3 और 4 वाला अगर देखोगे, पिनाटा लाइक sculpture of gypsy rose low rider car. So this sculpture was for a low rider car. Right, oh guys?
Yes.
अब एक है ना टफ करते हैं जिसमें डिबेट होना चाहिए थोड़ा.
9.
तुमने कर लिया सब?
नहीं.
9 चलो let's do 9. Yes, let's do 9.
Options लंबे थे.
नहीं ऑप्शन लंबे भी हैं और इसमें जैसे फ्रेजेस भी हैं इस तरह फ्रेज. चलो 9 is a good problem. 2 minutes guys. And my advice will always be read it twice. Don't worry, that is the average reading for such passages. And feel free to ask me any word that you may not follow from this passage. Main idea का question. Hold with this answer right now. Okay. So you guys let me know. Sneha, Nihit, यहाँ पे कर लिया है. And now all. So what do you mean by dissonance? तब तक ऐसी बात करते हैं. Dissonance का क्या मतलब?
Kind of disappointment. Something which was expected but did not be.
I cannot rule that answer out. I think you're very close. You're almost right. You're right. Okay. So generally it would mean some conflict, you know, and the conflict could be expectation and what was delivered, some act and that you could have done. इस रास्ते जाना है उस रास्ते जाना है, dissonance हो सकता है. Expectation और delivery के बीच का gap dissonance हो सकता है. So that means you're right. चलो, Sneha done. Please announce your answer. What do you mean by mitigate? हाँ स्नेहा बोलो.
Sir, B.
B. ठीक है. And what do you mean by mitigate?
Change or transform.
अच्छा. Okay. Mitigate. So today's class was so heavy that Titi Singh had to take a painkiller to mitigate the pain, reduce. So overcome, reduce something, you know.
Or change the initial state. She was
Nine. This doesn't mean change the initial. So mitigate would be when you can mitigate problems, you can mitigate pain. So किसी चीज को अच्छी solve करने के लिए आप जो effort कर रहे हैं, that is mitigate. So it says reducing, removing, solving is mitigation. Mitigate. Okay. So अब अलग-अलग answers हैं. Nihit, you want to announce? This is not that simple.
I also think B actually.
B. बोलो. D. Abhi don't judge.
A.
Fantastic. Both of you, good. And ये इतना straight नहीं था. So answer A है, but हमारे पास अलग-अलग answer आए हैं. B भी आया है, D भी आया है और A भी आया है. Answer A. But let's see. What is the summary of this passage? आप दोनों ने. What have you understood? Nidini, Sneha, Nihit. How would you summarize? What is this passage talking about? In your own words. वैसे ही करते हैं. Sneha, we start with you. We go to Nidini next and then Nihit. Sneha, summary दो इसका.
Yes, sir, just a minute.
So I'll start, Sneha, and then you build.
PDF page got just lost, so I need to.
So I will start. So this is basically talking about some technology where there are some customers, and these customers come with high expectations, but there are some inherent challenges because of which they face some disappointment, some dissonance. But researchers say they've deployed some mechanism. They call it cognitive mechanism. Cognitive. What do you mean by cognition? Cognitive.
Learning something with experiences.
हाँ, correct. जो आप subconsciously याद रखते जाते हो, आपके experience से वो आपका cognitive memory जैसे काम करता है. So जैसे वो होता है ना, déjà vu type, है ना, that had been gone there, मैंने देखा या मैंने कुछ ऐसा कुछ किया है.
It's an ability to see what exactly.
So
It's not exactly. It's about your experience.
Machine learning algorithms.
You know.
It's something similar, maybe.
Something similar to it. Like there's a pattern. We live exactly that.
So cognitive मतलब वो. So they say that some mechanism हम deploy करेंगे, तो हम ये वाली feelings को mitigate कर देंगे, और ultimately we will reverse the feeling of disappointment. So for some smart technologies, people come with high expectation. Because of some challenges, there's dissatisfaction. But if we apply cognitive mechanisms, we can reverse this feeling and create satisfaction. Right, guys? So they can reverse certain feelings of a high expectation wala customer for a technological product by deploying some mechanisms. Name bolo. Nidini? So we go to option B first, B for Bombay. Researchers suggest that most users of smart home technology will not achieve a feeling of satisfaction given the utilization challenge of some technology.
Researchers don't mention that.
No, they've gone a step further. They're saying that, of course, there will be utilization challenges, but they will feel a satisfaction wala thing.
Yeah.
Of course, there has to be something. This is how they conclude. So this is incomplete main idea. D में क्या problem है, Anirudh Patil?
Although negative disconfirmation has often been studied,
Right.
little is known about the cognitive mechanisms shaping users' reaction to it in the context of new technology adoption.
Why not D?
The saying literally is not about the cognitive functions, but they're actually using those set languages.
So what they're saying is there's something called as negative disconfirmation. Disconfirmation means my expectation is here and what you're delivering is here. So there's a gap. This gap is disconfirmation. So negative disconfirmation, researcher says, for technology product, if you use cognitive mechanisms, if this is used, this can be converted into satisfaction. Okay, D kya bolta hai? Researchers revealed that, sorry. Although negative disconfirmation has often been studied, little is known about this thing shaping users' reaction for technology. No, they've used it and they have found out कि हम satisfaction create कर सकते हैं अगर initial technology product के साथ negative disconfirmation है तो which is option A. Let's read it now. Researchers suggest that user with high expectation for new technology can feel content with that technology even after experiencing negative disconfirmation. ये हो सकता है but उसे satisfaction आ सकता है technology के. Of course, this is one of the tools. Bolo guys, because that's how it is concluded. Right, oh, Nidini, can we go ahead? Which one now? तुम तो बोलना ही मत, तुम मारेंगे तुमको फिर. We go to sixth one, question number 6. But ninth wala, I'm glad you asked it. I asked for it. Actually, so sixth one. Sixth wala, I'll give you a minute's time only. So, it is a very interesting letter there. Let me know if you can strike well for meaning of this word. ये क्या है? Capacious.
Spacious, something having space.
Yes, so capacious is spacious. Capacity say yes. So more space, more capacity is capacious. Correct. Thank you. Capacious, more space, more capacity. How do people in capital of Mexico most likely regard Dr. M? That's very good. Which one? Okay. Bolo, shall we? Time is up.
So I'm not sure. C.
C. Chiti. A. D. Sneha. So सभी आ गया है. A, C, D तो आ गया है. Sneha.
A.
A. Nihit.
Not yet sure, but I think it is A.
Okay, never mind. We will start with you, and you'll have to defend it. Abhi Nihit ka le lete response. Nihit, thinking.
Yeah, thank you.
ठीक है. Sneha, in the meantime, क्या क्या बोला आपने? ACD, है ना? ACD, right? नहीं, ACD बोला था. तुमने क्या बोला था?
मैंने सी बोला, डी तो पता हो ही.
वही तो बोल रहे हैं. ACD डिस्कस कर रहे हैं ना. ACD, A स्नेहा, A तिथि, C and D. B अभी तक किसी ने नहीं बोला है. और मुझे लगता है ऑफ द फोर C तो आंसर हो नहीं सकता. C ही सबसे पहले आंसर नहीं हो सकता. Why? उसका फिजिकल अपीयरेंस है, एक्सपर्टीज थोड़ी ना है. उसके प्रोफेशनल एक्सपर्टीज के बारे में कहाँ बात किया गया है कि उसके पास कोई सर्टिफिकेशन है, उसने डिग्री किया, इतने लोगों को ट्रीट किया और ऐसे. वो तो फिजिकल है. तो सी तो नहीं हो सकता फर्स्ट. इस पे आना है बी. नहीं, डी पे रुक जाओ. डी पे रुक जाओ. हाँ, तो बी पे आते हैं. मेनी हैव कम टू टॉलरेट हिम डिस्पाइट हिज disheveled appearance.
We have no clarity.
We don't know really, but we know that a lot of people come to him because he has a lot of family secrets than anybody else. But people come to him and they tolerate his disappearance. We don't know. We really don't
We
know.
are not aware.
Yes, so we really don't know. What about D? Some dislike how freely he discusses his own family.
Enjoy how he discusses his family.
Sir, he carries so many family secrets, so how will he discuss his family?
Sorry.
Sir, if he's carrying so many family secrets under his hand,
Where is it written that he is discussing his own family? Where is it written? He is discussing his own family. Yes. We really don't know whether he is discussing his own family.
He's bottled up.
So there was nothing such mentioned about that.
About that. नहीं, पहले D पे आओ. First you have to agree with us on D. Do you agree? There is no evidence out here or nothing about he discussing his own family with them. He has bottled up a lot of secrets, but that secret could be of others' family. जैसा वो आर्ट बिशप पे तो आते हैं लोग उसके पास बात करते हैं. तो D तो नहीं है ना. अब A क्यों है पे आते हैं. A क्यों है? चलो. Why? Why? Because BCD नहीं है.
option elimination.
नहीं, ऐसा मत बोलो. Few feel concerned that he will divulge their confidence. Are you sure? Have you read it carefully? बोलो, आप दोनों A कैसे आया? A is the right answer. Based on the text, how do people in capital of Mexico most likely regard this doctor? ये सबसे पहले लाइन पे आते हैं. It is a saying in the capital of Mexico, which is of course people saying it. How people regard, ये बोला गया है. Detail वाला question है. तो detail मुझे कहाँ मिलती है? It is a saying in capital of Mexico that Dr. Malsu Rildo carries more family secrets under his hand than any archbishop. So few feel concerned.
So that just proves that he would not betray anyone's confidence.
That there will be few people who will believe you, which means everybody believes. Nobody believes you now. This is few people concerned. So there are very few people who are concerned that he will divulge their confidence. Confidence information. Many trust him. It is a saying that this person knows more family secrets than any other person. आगे चलते हैं. जैसे ये बोल रही है, remains nicely bottled up beneath the dome of old and highly polished ivory. Doctor takes नहीं, but ये तो नहीं है. When doctor takes it off, वो जो hat है या जो भी है, the family secrets do not fly out like a flock of rabbits.
That was just proof that he wouldn't betray the confidence.
Very few people are concerned. Mostly trust him. Bolo. Guys, you can always debate. So this is the best option I have. Nothing about personal expertise. He's not discussing his own family, not given. Many people come to tolerate him despite about his appearance. So his appearance may be funny, but people are tolerating him. We don't know because there are other archbishops. ऐसा लगता है इसको पढ़ के. Any other archbishop से ज़्यादा लोग इसके पास इसको ज़्यादा family secrets पता है. So this is the best option. That ये concern कि वो divulge करेगा लोगों की confidence, out करेगा, बात करेगा, ये बहुत कम है. Is more trusted. 7th, did we do? Yes, we did. And we'll do one last. I'm sorry, we exceeded that. तो एक छोटा सा करते हैं. हाँ, 5th तो किया ना? 5th. Okay. I'll give you 1.5 minutes. 5th. Richard Hunt. Read all 4 guys, very, very close. Very good, very good. Correct. That's also C meaning of this word. Commemorate. What does this mean?
Celebrate.
थोड़ा सा meaning है but ठीक है. और हम close as. Put forward. So in my hometown, we have put up a mock-up of FIFA World Cup to commemorate Argentina winning 2022 World Cup. It is a special way. Celebrate in what way? So you don't commemorate on 31st December night morning. In a special way you celebrate.
So then it can be memorable.
Memorable where you remember, you know, where you pay like कुछ आपने reverence के साथ हमेशा याद रखने के लिए, memory बनाने के लिए, you have done something. किसी का statue लगाया, कुछ icon लगाया, to commemorate Kargil war. So what's the movie theme? Kargil war. अभी there was a movie on Kargil war में movie थी ना? दिल मांगे मोर वाला dialogue था उसमें. Sher Shah. So I can say Sher Shah was a piece of art to commemorate India's victory in Kargil.
It wasn't based on Kargil war. It was a different war. I don't know.
Sir, I haven't watched it. So.
You haven't watched it? Anybody who has watched it? I think it was based on Kargil war. Sher Shah. So this is an assignment for both of us. Whenever we meet next and wherever we meet next, at local station, या mall, या classroom, let's remind each other. मैं भी ढूंढूंगा, आप भी ढूंढना. You have shaken my confidence. इतने confidence को.
Let me watch it.
Please find out कौन से Indian Pakistan war पे शेरशाह movie based. फाइंड करना और मुझे पता चलेगा, मैं ग्रुप में डालूंगा एंड माय गॉड सर नहीं हो सकता, मैं बिलीव सर क्वेश्चन का जाओ, क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 बोलो गाइस, डोंट से हाँ चलो जल्दी बोलो, स्नेहा ने
A.
ए, ओके ए इज द राइट आंसर, जो मैं पूछता हूँ वो बताते जाना, व्हाई नॉट बी? He uses different kind of material depending upon what kind of sculpture he plans to create. So he uses broad forms rather than extreme accuracy. And his first work was this, where this was a mythical character, जिसको उसने weaver से spider में turn होने का कुछ किया है by weaving bits of steel together into something like that. So is he using different material every time?
No.
We really don't know. And his large, so he's talking about a very specific culture right now, which is arcane. Arakan. जो वो अभी बात कर रहा है, बहुत स्पेसिफिकली कुछ बात कर रहा है, हर बार वो अलग मटेरियल यूज करता है. आई डोंट नो, वी कैन नॉट बी द आंसर, दैट्स नॉट द मेन आइडिया. कम डाउन टू सी, व्हाई नॉट सी? उल्टा एकदम, बल्कि फिक्शनल कैरेक्टर पे, मिथिकल कैरेक्टर पे है ना, तो सी तो आंसर नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज सी सेज इंपॉर्टेंट हिस्टोरिकल फिगर्स, ये तो नहीं. व्हाट अबाउट डी, व्हाई नॉट डी? And his art has become abstract. We really don't know over the time क्या था, we don't know. क्या वो change हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है, वो पहले कैसे करता था, we don't know. This is talking about Richard Hunt's a particular art from 1956. But if you look his large bronze sculpture, The Light of Truth, 2021 में जो उसने बनाया, to remember this special activity or activist and journalist, was using mainly flowing curved pieces of metal that create stylized flame. So metal तो use करता है, ये तो पक्का है, अलग अलग material use करता है, I don't know, but metals use करके ही काम करता है. He has altered his approach over time. नहीं, not really, because there is nothing abstract. पहले उसने एक fictional character लिया, अभी उसने एक real character लिया. So abstract art में नहीं गया है, हमेशा characters को लेके आ रहा है. Abstract means something ideas that is more vague and it may be open to different interpretations, which is not the case. He's talking about some character. Okay. That's all from my side. So we are done with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 किया क्या हमने? 9. So 8, 10, 11, 12 becomes your homework. Whenever we meet next time, we'll discuss this plus शेरशाह movie कौन से वॉर पे बेस्ड, ये सारा डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके गाइस, चलो, थैंक यू. ओके नेहत, आर यू फॉलोइंग दिस?
या
ठीक है, चलो, बाय बाय, थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir.
हाँ, second will happen after this, 7 January को, which is command of evidence quantitative. Yes, Neha, any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, bye bye.
Great.